Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Strange Origins Podcast, episode 27, I think.
Yes, yes,
Yes, and
yes.
we're together again
Yay,
for another
yay.
week. Um, yeah, how's your past 7 been?
It's been good. I'm in that mood, just sad mood, I guess.
Yeah, melancholy.
Like, yeah. So I'm just been like listening to like a lot of like lo-fi and like sort of
Oh
like
shit.
sad music from films.
Oh yeah,
Not
what
sad
what
music, but
what,
like
what kind of films?
so like because recently I watched Justice League.
Oh yeah, let's just
And
know. No
there
spoilers.
was like yeah, no spoiler. There was like a scene there, and there was like this play music, and it was just very like sort of like melody, and it's just like it feels like
Like,
it feels nice, honestly. Right.
mm, like I think
So
like you can't go wrong with uh like soundtrack film scores sometimes. Like I think
yeah.
for me like the go-to ones I had was like Interstellar. Was
Oh
one.
yes,
I loved
yes, yes.
listening to that soundtrack and just sort of like walking. When you're just walking. Sometimes it was during being rain, man. You just walk,
Yeah,
and you feel like you're in your own movie. It's great.
yeah. And it's
Um,
like you just feel the vibe of the song,
yeah,
man.
and there's
It's
one like
nice.
specific like song from Gladiator, as well.
Ooh,
That one's really good.
is
Like,
that when he was like going back home?
yeah, I think it's kind. I think it might be called the Field
Ah,
of Elysium or something like that.
I think
Yeah,
I know that one. Yeah,
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 and it's just
yeah.
like I had it, and then like Spotify was just like sending me playlists of like other sad songs from movies, and it's like, you okay, bro? Like, do you need a hand? Like, are you alright?
But
Do
yeah,
you-
I've been in that mood.
yeah, funny thing is that it actually reminds me of a story. I went to my brother's house, like
Mm,
when we were allowed to leave, and like
yeah.
we were showing each other like our Spotify recaps, like and like oh my god, it was so funny. Like I think my brother showed me his, and it was majority. This is James, by the way. It was majority Eurovision, which is
Fair enough.
no brainer. Like anyone who knows him, that's what it is. That's James's MO. It's like Lego and Eurovision, and then like
Nah.
his fiance was like, I think it was like, oh, I want to say it was like there was some pop on there. There was like it was like quite like varied.
Yeah.
And then like I showed mine, and like the first thing that comes up is like a sea shanty from Assassin's Creed 4, and they were like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Like I think I had that, and I had some Red Hot Chili Peppers, and then stuff like that, and it was just so varied. Like I had some stuff
Yeah.
from Interstellar, had like Prince,
Ah.
like sea
Oh, yes.
shanties. Everyone was like, "What the
You
fuck?"
see kind of all genres there,
Yeah,
man.
and they're just like so confused. They're like, "What the fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Like it was so funny because there was one point, like the one thing that sticks in my mind was like they just had there's a sea shanty called Randy Dandy or something like that, and
Mm.
he's like Randy Dandy, like something like that, and everyone was like for a second, like my mum, and my brother and his fiance all just looked at me and was like, "The fuck," and I was like, "Don't fucking judge me."
Oh god. You just in those moods, man.
Yeah,
So
honestly, sea shanties are great sometimes to just when you want to work. Like so at work when I'm cleaning,
Mm.
like if I was cleaning the floors or something like that,
Yeah.
like I would like pop in like a cheeky headphone that no one could see, and just play sea shanties, and it would be great. Like it's just like no one can see that I'm like working rhythm, working
Yeah,
rhythmically,
yeah.
because
But in your head, you're
yeah,
just following the
exactly.
rhythm.
Like apparently like that's why sea shanties existed. I didn't know this. But like
Ah,
they
that's
used to
pretty
sing it
cool.
on the boat. Everyone used to sing it because they were doing like hard work, like pulling rope, like setting up the sails and all that stuff. So it's just a part of time,
Mm.
like a pass, like time passer.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Makes sense, honestly.
it's just
Give,
funny.
give everyone like a rhythm,
Yeah,
so
pretty
they keep
much.
they keep working.
Yeah, and that's exactly what it was. And that's pretty much what music is nowadays, isn't it? Really, like
Yeah,
pastime. Enjoy it, that sort of stuff.
yeah. You gotta have a certain mood for it.
Yeah, I mean, like gym is like a prime example. Like you go into gym or
That-
running or something like
That's a pump music right there, dude.
that. Although, like again, I will say sometimes I'm kind of weird, and I'll just listen to like sad songs while running. Like,
I'm the same thing. Like I'm one of those people. Like, oh, even though I'm happy in life, it's like I just I just listen to like like you said Interstellar or like right now from
yeah,
the Justice League, and it's just like it's not that I'm sad. It's just like that's how I feel at that time. I'm
yeah,
not even though I'm not angry or anything or sad. I'm happy inside, but it's just I just want to hear that music, you know.
Yeah.
And some people think I'm like some sort of weird emo shit. Like I remember like having this discussion with my friends back in secondary school.
Mm.
I told them like, yeah, I don't really listen to that type of music. I'm also listening to this type of music, even though I'm in a happy mood. And
Yeah.
they were like, "Are you going through some emo shit?" I'm like, "No, not really.
Oh,
I
I mean,
just want to
kids are
like listen to
dumb.
this." Yeah. So I'm glad I like ditched those friends, and I'm just like, yeah,
Yeah.
just do my own thing.
Like there are like certain like situations because like I've got like we got friends like who just
Mm,
who listen to sad songs like that as well. Like I think like Mark
yeah.
is one of them. Like he likes to listen to sad songs like most
Mm,
of the time, but like he does like listen to like everything basically. Like his like he's like me basically and you like we listen
yeah.
to everything, right? But there
Yeah.
are some
Yeah.
times where he can't like read the room. Sometimes it's so funny. Like we'll go to the
Uh,
park, like and it's a summer
mm.
day, right? It's this nice summer, like and we're all try chilling, we'll laugh and joke, and he'll just put on some sad song. We're like, mate, like, like I get it. I like this song too, but can you like play something a bit more upbeat? Like, you
Yeah.
know, like you don't want to play like Johnny Cash "Hurt" like or something like these like
Oh,
like come on, man. It's just like you want to have like a summer vibe, but I don't know. That's just
I
me.
guess, yeah, everyone's just in this like different mood.
I think it's like a proper personal thing sometimes. Like when someone says put on a song, it's proper
Mm,
personal. Like to me anyway. Like I used to feel so much more nervous about it. Like
yeah.
I didn't like anyone knowing that I listened to like rock or you know anything like that. Like back in my
Yeah,
school,
yeah.
like no one you're not allowed to listen to rock basically.
Oh, yeah, because you're either classed as an emo, grunger, or like the popular kids,
Yeah,
you know?
and it's just like most of the people listen to like rap and R&B, and it was just
Yeah.
like if you don't listen to that, like not so much you're an outcast, but it's like they're like, oh, you're one of those people, and I'm like,
No, that's how they pretty much see you, though. Like,
yeah,
they portray as you're like an outcast, and like I think that's kind of like partly my problem growing up
mm,
in like because I tried to fit in with the popular kids. That was my biggest problem. It's like I have this issue of like trying to fit in,
yeah,
but then I lose myself.
yeah,
Like,
okay,
you know, and it's just like I think I had a wake up call like back in year 11. I was like, this is really not my group of people. Why the
mm,
fuck am I trying so hard? Like, you know,
yeah,
I think that's when like after that I met like I reconnected with Stefan basically.
yeah, yeah,
Like we started playing games and we just like I was like, huh, this is the type of person I actually want to be friends with. You know, like I don't know
it's like
why
the sort of thing you
I
want to do.
yeah I was wondering like I don't know why I didn't just hang out with him in the beginning instead of
Yeah,
trying to like fucking fit in. Like, you
like
know.
I think we all go through that. Like there was like
Mm,
sometimes like I mean there was one girl who was popular and she didn't even admit to like liking rock. She told me one day, and I was
yeah.
just like, wait, you listen to like Muse or something like that? And then she was like,
Oh,
yeah, and I was like, what the fuck? Like she was like, but don't tell anyone. And I was like, why is this a secret? It's like listen to what you want to. Like it doesn't make any
yeah.
sense. Like and that's when I had the realization of just like all these like friendship circles, like air quotes, are just like bullshit. So I was quite
Yeah.
happy in the group I was in with like Ishak and Mark and Larry and all that stuff. Like we all kind of like got on and we all like liked our own things and that was okay. You know,
Yeah.
it's like trying to fit in was like the stupidest thing you could do. Like
Yeah, because as a kid, like you do want to have that popular like, you know, group of
of
friends,
course,
but
yeah.
I think that's just the thing we go through though.
Well,
Like
that's your whole
we have to
life.
find yeah,
At that
exactly.
age, that is your life. Like it's the longest you've ever lived. When you're 15, that's the longest you ever lived. And there's people out there that lived like 3 times your life, and like to
Mm,
you, this is the biggest deal in the world.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so
yeah.
it's like, oh shit, like what am I gonna do? Like fucking Jonathan over there doesn't like me, and you're like, well, it doesn't matter. Like you won't
No,
realize in 5 years' time you won't even know who the
yeah.
fuck he is, and he's like addicted to crack or something. So like, do you know what I mean? It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
just one of those things. Like in our school as well, we had like there was so much segregation. It was so fucking weird. Now that I think about
Oh
it,
my God.
we had like the Asian group over there, and
Yeah.
then we had like I guess like well, even within that group, it was split. So there
Mm.
was like there was like the Far East, and then there was like the Middle East, and then there was like
Oh my
it was
God.
like so many different groups, and then there was like Polish who all stayed together. It was like,
Yeah.
and I think I've said this before on podcasts. Like our group was the only one that had like mixed race. Like
Diversity.
everyone was different cultures, and I
Yeah.
think and then in a way that's our own group, you know. And
Yeah.
it's just
I
like
think
so weird.
I mean, when I was like in secondary school, I had like a friend that's Caribbean, I had a friend that was like Lebanese, but they
Mm,
both had like one thing in common, which is like listening to like grams, hip hop, R&B. Don't get me
right.
wrong, I listen to the type of stuff, but it's like if I mention anything like I listen to like I don't know, like My Chemical Romance
Mm,
or Linkin Park, they'll be like ugh.
Oh, yeah,
Like,
it's so annoying. Like
so
I
it's
think we
like,
had that with fuck, who was it? Green Day. So there was
yeah,
like Green Day. I used to love Green Day, right? And then like
yeah,
everyone else would be like, "Wow, you're fucking like weird. You're like emo." Like,
yeah.
and I was like, "What
I'm
the
like,
fuck?" Like, and then my teacher admitted to liking it,
yeah.
and then people didn't like her because of that. And that's
Oh
when I was
god.
like, "Fuck, I'm not gonna admit to listen to this." Like,
Yeah, exactly.
like
It's that peer pressure of like, you know,
it's so piss take. Like it's annoying. Like, but yeah.
there's none of it matters down the line.
No, not at all. Like, and that's why I was going back to the original point of like it's such a personal thing because it's something you connect with music. Like some people, I've met like two people in my life that just don't listen to music ever, and I was like, what the fuck?
Jesus.
Like,
Damn.
I remember like one of the conversation starters that Mark and I tried to do it with one of the girls at work was like,
Hmm.
oh, like so what kind of music do you listen to? She was like, I don't really listen to music, and we were like, that's nuts. Like to me, like that is nuts, you know.
So I'm like, yeah.
But
'Cause
I don't
guess
know.
everyone each to their own.
Yeah. Like what kind of genre do you like? No, none. Like, but yeah, with what Mark used to do is he used to go up to people and just be like, hey, play a song and put it in the rotation, like put it in the queue, and then he would pass the phone around and everyone had to play a song, which some people used to hate and some people used to
Yeah.
love. But it definitely did the thing of like bringing people out of their shell a little bit and letting us know like what kind of music you like and just put on whatever you want. But a lot of people, I think, would just turn around and go like, nah, man, I'm not doing this. Like, I don't want to open up, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Because it's incredible, personally, I think. I think.
Mm.
You know?
But yeah, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But, yeah. Regarding my week, it's been fucking...
Yeah. I keep forgetting to ask you about your week,
Yeah,
right? It's
thanks,
just
man.
always me.
It's like...
How's your week, dude?
What a nice podcast where I talked about myself. No, my week was... Like, I went to the doctors and I had this, like, ECG thing, which, like, strapped onto my chest. And I, like, basically they're just trying to find out if something's wrong with my heart. Not at the moment, everything's fine, which is cool. But I had to wear it for 5 days and it was so horrible. Like, it's literally just stickers, but it's like carrying around a little wire, like, a little pack. It's about the size of my phone, probably a little bit smaller.
But it's like being just monitored 24/7.
Yeah, pretty much. Like, and I had to clip it onto my waistband, and every time, like, trying to go to sleep, like, if you move one of the wires, it will pull my skin, or
Oh
like,
my God.
and they had to shave me as well, and I was like, fucking hell, like on my chest.
Jeez.
It's just like it was so.
You're a hairy
shit.
boy.
And the worst thing is, right? This thing's worth 1,200 quid. It's not fucking waterproof. So
Wait.
no, like, so I have to take the stickers off every time I want to the shower.
Oh
And
Jesus.
and these things are stuck on like cement, like because obviously they're not meant to fall off. So
Yeah.
I had to rip them off, and luckily, like Shaz obviously was just like ripping them off my skin, and I was just like ah, like fucking hell, like every time,
Look,
like
You must have enjoyed that.
yeah, she had a little smirk every time she was doing it, but it was just like god damn, and yeah, basically like they're gonna measure that, and then I think in 3 days time, I've got to go for an exercise test, which is like a stress test. So I'm gonna have the same fucking thing stuck onto my chest again, but I got to walk on a treadmill and then I think maybe light jog, just to get your blood pumping a bit, and they're gonna be like, oh yeah, we'll see how your heart is basically. So yeah, that's been my week. Pretty shit. But I don't know. And strangely, I felt kind of good because if it's the heart and like your internal things are one of those things where you can't, like you can't, you don't know if something's wrong.
Yeah, you have to like get checked.
Yeah, and it's like one of those things where you like if there was something wrong, it probably wouldn't show up in a normal way. So it's good to do these tests anyway to find out if you've got a good one or not. You know.
Yeah. Probably should have one because I think my mum has a history of like having a heart problem.
Oh really? Yeah. They always ask that like every time I go. It's like, oh, is there any history of family heart problems? I'm like, yep. Yeah, there is. So it's just like definitely one of those things like it's good to get checked out. But if you've got no symptoms, there's nothing wrong with you, man. Like apparently like that's the way it works. It's like if you get palpitations, which are like I like skipped beats or sometimes like an extra beat or something like that, like a flutter in your chest. If you get anything like that, that's probably the time to go. But the problem is like with most medical things nowadays, fucking everything could be anxiety. Like it's ridiculous. Like I remember like trying to get everything checked out. Like most of my medical history, it's like, oh, it could be this, it could be that, it could be this, and it also could be depression or anxiety. I'm like, fuck's sake, like, is this responsible for everything? Like, fuck.
God, It's like when you like try and just go on Google, like if I have a high temperature and they just give you like, oh, if you have fucking like broken leg or some shit,
Yeah.
who knows?
Or have you recently been anxious? It's like, fuck's sake. Like, yes, I'm anxious every day of my life.
Treat me.
Yeah. It's like when they go like, oh, do you experience much stress? And I'm like, well, yeah. Like, and doesn't everybody? Like, I'm not like
Exactly.
sitting around like just smoking a joint and in a field of grass. Like, do you know what I mean? Well, I live in London. It's fucking stressful. You know?
Yeah, being around people is stressful, honestly.
Yeah, we're in the middle of a pandemic. Of course, I've been fucking stressed out. Like, Jesus Christ, it's like a
People
thousand
out
people
here not
dying a day.
people not wearing masks and shit, like
Yeah.
breathing next to me, like get the fuck away from me,
Oh,
man,
that
please.
fucking that starts another conversation. What was it? They had the freedom fucking protests like the other day.
Oh,
What the fuck's that
when you
about?
when you told me that, Jack,
Like
I
for anyone who
honestly
doesn't
just
know, these like idiots basically are going out into I think it was like Leicester Square or something like that and
yeah.
protesting like about being locked up. They're like lockdown protests, anti-lockdown protests, and stuff like that. Like saying we need to be let out. This is all stupid. Like it was like, are you fucking serious?
What the
Like it's I honestly like I said to you I was like I low key think that they're trying to do this to spread it more so they can stay off their work because this is
Oh my
ridiculous.
god.
Like why would you protest? Like because my girlfriend she brought up a good point, right? Why the fuck would
Yeah.
you protest being in lockdown when you're literally on the 12th of April are coming out of lockdown?
Yeah.
What's the point of protesting? We're coming out, you idiots. Like what's there to protest?
Why can't you wait for like another month? Or like it's like two
It's
weeks
like
actually.
you've waited a
Jesus.
year, so how about you shut up and just sit in your house, get paid for doing fuck all, and like do whatever you want. Like
Oh
and
my
these people that are protesting that have lost their job, like you know
yeah.
what? I sympathize with you. Like losing a job is terrible. Losing your life is way fucking worse.
Exactly.
So when when I got my fucking like my uncle, or like my mum and that, who are
Yeah.
fucking like at risk and could potentially lose their fucking life, and you're out there going
Exactly.
like, well, I lost my job. All right, well, I'm sorry, but this is worse. So fuck
I
off.
have, yeah, exactly. I have more to lose here.
Yeah.
Like,
How are you equating a job to a life? Like it's insane.
people don't see that, man.
They don't
They
see shit.
literally.
Like, and these people are just so annoying. Like they're the same people that stood in, in like Sainsbury's or something without a mask and going, "I'm exempt. I'm exempt." It's like, you're not exempt, Barry. All right. Like, go back home, and if you're really struggling to breathe when you have a mask on, just wait until you get COVID. You won't be able to breathe. Like Jesus
Like
Christ.
just the feel of glass in your chest, dude. That's
Yeah,
it.
like obviously I've had it and it's not pleasant. Like
Mm,
luckily I didn't. I'm very very lucky actually because I didn't have the breathing problems part, especially because I'm asthmatic. So I
yeah,
would have fucking like been struggling to breathe really like severely. But
exactly.
all I had really was like feeling shit and the loss of taste. And
Yeah.
there's so many people I've known like for instance my girlfriend she had COVID. She's
Mm,
experiencing long COVID now. So she's
Jesus.
that's been diagnosed by the doctor.
Mm,
Because we rung up and she kept like struggling to breathe every once in a while, like waking up and being like, "What the fuck? I can't breathe." And it's
yeah,
panicking,
yeah,
it's
yeah,
worrying, like you think, "Oh shit!" I was like, "Shit, she might have asthma or something."
yeah,
But
yeah.
like
Because
it wasn't. It's long COVID. So apparently like she's it's gonna be like that for a couple, I guess, maybe another month or something like that. But yeah, it's a side effect of having COVID.
I don't think people understand like it's not a short thing; it's a long term thing. Because I've seen people that have people like saying that they've lost taste completely.
Oh yeah, fucking hell.
You
That was my
know?
biggest like fear,
Yeah,
apart from
I was
death, obviously. But like that was my biggest fear.
nuts.
Like, oh my god, my food is like every day. I'm not. It sounds so sad, but every day I look forward to dinner. Like,
Yeah.
like the next day, I go to bed. I'm going, ah shit. What am I gonna have for dinner like tomorrow? It's gonna be great. Like, if I lost my taste, I would literally just like be eating broccoli all the fucking time. Like that's it. And which
Oh
is what
my
I did
god.
anyway at the time. It's just sad. Like it's anyone who doesn't
My,
like food like that, like I get it, but like man, if you could just like experience good taste, like for once.
that'd be great.
No, but it's like I think there's that documentary on the TV like my mom told me about. I think her name was
Mm,
like Kate or Garraway or something like that. Like
yeah.
her husband has been in hospital for a year because of COVID. Like he's still in there now.
Jesus.
And
Oh my
and
god.
I just sat there and was like, what the fuck? Like how? But like that just shows that it affects people in different ways, and like he's still in hospital after a year, literally a year, Like,
Exactly,
and
man. Fucking
we
hell.
don't really know the effects of this because I don't know if you've looked on the symptoms of long COVID, but
Nope.
obviously they've got the normal ones like chest, breathing problems and all that stuff. But one of the ones is like brain fog, like
Hello?
which is
What the f?
which I've had, like, and I didn't know it was a symptom of it. I just thought I was like being a dumbass, but like I
Mm,
couldn't quite like think like what I was doing when I would do something, like,
yeah.
I couldn't make decisions properly. And I don't know if you noticed as well, I was fucking up my words every once
You
in a while.
you were starring a lot when you were
Yeah,
when you had COVID. It's
and that's the
kind
thing. Like this, a couple of months or a month after I had it, I was getting like this brain fog. I was like, I couldn't think clearly, and that's one of
of,
the symptoms of it. And I was like, how the fuck does that happen? Like, and they're only just finding out more about it now, and it's like it all could have been prevented if you just fucking stayed at home and wore a mask.
exactly, but people just don't want to listen, and then they start complaining while we're on lockdown again.
I
You
mean,
know?
it's crazy
It's
because
like,
I've been doing this podcast for like pretty much a year now. This is pretty much like into a year of doing it because we started this at the beginning of lockdown. So it probably I think in
mm,
another month it would be around a year. But it's just
yeah,
like, and I'm still saying the same fucking thing. Like, and that's what's shocking to me is I'm still saying like, why are people not wearing a mask? Why are people doing this? Like I didn't know we were gonna add protests to that fucking thing, but
yep.
I can just feel like I wish I was wearing the ECG now. I can feel the fucking the heart rate going up. I'm just getting annoyed for no reason.
Ugh.
Yeah,
It's crazy, man. It's just like I just wish, just like for once in our lifetime, people would just come together and just listen.
yeah,
That would be like the way they did in is it New Zealand?
yeah, and I think Israel as well.
Yeah, I just wish we had that mentality, but no way. Some people are just exempt for some
Oh,
stupid reason.
they think they're
If you are,
smart. Like
yeah,
it's
it's
annoying.
like,
Like, I don't know, man. Like, and it breeds other things. Like, I know you were telling me about like, there's a lot of violence towards Asian people at the moment going on. Like,
oh yeah, because like I don't know if anyone knows or if you don't know,
mm.
but in America, there's been a fluctuate of like Asian crime by I think like almost like 1,000% or something.
Yeah, I thought it was like 1,300 or something, wasn't it? Like
Yeah,
1,300% or something
yeah,
crazy,
and
or
it's
1,900.
just like yeah, and then it's just crazy because Asian people are just being attacked left, right, and center. There was an old lady that got punched in the face for no reason, and she managed to hit the motherfucker back.
Oh yeah, I saw that. She
And
was a badass.
and he was in a stretcher. She was just standing there like, look at my face. I just beat you with a stick, bitch.
It's what's weird though is why is this popping up now? Like it's been going on for a year. Like is it because they're starting to like do the vaccination stuff like that in America? Or
I don't.
didn't they
I'm
start
not.
doing the lockdown like after Biden came in? So maybe that's why everyone's like pissed off.
Maybe I'm not sure honestly.
Like I'm not defending it. But I'm just saying like is that the
Yeah.
reason why? Like because obviously like my first thought was like well we've been in lockdown for like pretty much a year like on and off. So why the
Mm.
fuck are they only just kicking off now? But now I'm thinking about it, it's like, well, they haven't
It's
actually
supposed to
been in
be.
lockdown for that long, you know? Because
Yeah.
was it Texas got rid of the mask mandate and all that stuff, so people are just like dumbass over there.
Being yeah. It's just it's annoying. This is supposed to be like the most powerful country in the world, and you can't even set an example. Come on,
Yeah,
man.
like, this is meant to be the tail end of the virus as well, and we're still like getting people out there that are just going, it's a conspiracy, it's Bill Gates, it's this, it's like really? Like, you guys really want
Never,
Bill Gates to be a bad guy?
never the tip of the iceberg.
Like, yeah, don't get me wrong, I don't like billionaires as much as the next guy, but like, he's not responsible for this. Like, come on, man. Like,
Exactly, and if he did, or like, if there's like some sort of like underground billionaire fucking club or some shit that they just doing whatever they want, then hey, what the fuck can we do? Right? We're just normal people.
yeah, like I love it. It's like they like, oh, we got to fight systems. How are you gonna fight that anyway? Like, come on, you're not actually gonna win this. Like, so it doesn't actually fucking matter anyway. I don't know. Like, it's one of those things that it's just it confuses me on a daily basis.
Mm,
But yeah.
but I don't know. Going back to your ECG thing,
Oh yeah.
what do you think is like causing it?
Well, cause
Besides the whole stress thing,
yeah. Before I actually didn't even say why I had the ECG thing on, but I was getting like heart palpitations. Um,
Yeah.
so like a skip beat. Well, apparently they said it was an extra beat every once in a while, and
Okay.
it's not like all day. It would be like for
Mm.
about I don't know 10 minutes something like that a day.
Is
Um,
that random?
yeah,
Like
and it was
throughout
usually
the
in the
day?
evening or when I was lying down or something like that.
Okay.
So I went extreme. I was like, I stopped playing the stressful games with you.
Yeah.
I took out caffeine. Like I stopped eating caffeine. I stopped like doing jogging and exercise, like that kind of exercise, like hard,
Yeah.
intense exercise. So I was
Mm.
like full like stop doing that shit. But
Mm.
honestly, I think it's either like anxiety and stress and all that stuff, or it could be like
Yeah.
an adrenaline thing, like because when you're stressed and you're anxious, like your body releases not adrenaline. It's not the same one. It's like a different one, but it's the
Okay.
same sort of family as adrenaline. To sort
Mm.
of like get you prepared to fight something, because like a fight or flight response,
Oh yeah, yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah. Okay, okay,
So
yeah.
like it's the same thing, but when you're anxious, your body can't really tell the difference between, hey, there's a tiger in front of you, or hey, you're just fucking worried about this.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
it just releases it anyway. And maybe
Mm.
I've been doing too much of that.
Mate, yeah.
And then they could put me on something called like beta blockers, which is an adrenaline, like it stops adrenaline being pumped too much, basically. In
Yeah.
the most basic way of it, is it regulates it. So maybe they might
Okay.
put me on that for like 6 months, 3 months. But right now, I'm not getting fuck all. Like I'm not getting any palpitations. So it's like I was getting it before. I put the fucking
Mm.
5-day thing on, and I didn't get any. So I got like one.
M- Maybe it's like a mind thing, you know.
That's what I'm saying. It's
Um.
probably anxiety then. But
Mm.
I've got a lot of
'Cause-
shit like I'm trying to move out, and all
yeah.
that stuff, and there's a
Uh,
bunch of other stuff. So it's like
tr
there's a lot of shit.
Trust me, dude. I'm pretty sure I was going through the same thing. Not so much like the heart
Yeah.
skipping beat. It's just mostly anxiety.
Mm.
Because when I was moving out, like I had that to worry about. I had like work to worry about. I had like my mom, like they've been breathing down on me, but like she was just like, "Oh, like my baby boy's moving out," that
Yeah. So
type
you
of
had that
thing.
pressure as well.
And then you got fucking move everything while there's a pandemic happening.
Yeah.
So
God.
it's like
Like
it's
that.
just
That's
it's
what's gonna
about
be like for me. Luckily, like I'm only
mm,
going 2 doors down, so it's like I'm not actually going that far. But like, it's
you're lucky man.
still yeah, it's still like kind of stressful. Like, and I have been like
Mm,
getting the odd like feeling of like, hey, you're not really moving anywhere. Like, so are you really progressing? But
mm.
I need to get myself out of that mentality because I am still progressing. I'm
Uh,
still like
yeah,
independent.
you are progressing. Yeah, it's I think it's just like that because it is only like a few dollars. Like it doesn't matter. I think it's that independency, you know.
Yeah, and it's gonna be
That
great to move in obviously with my
oh
girlfriend
hell yeah,
and
dude.
with Ishak. Like, it's gonna be jokes.
Mm.
So that's something I've always wanted to do is move out with one of my friends or my friends. Like,
It's
obviously,
what
like you
it's what,
can't count that out when they get like girlfriends or boyfriends or whatever.
yeah.
Like that you can't move in with them. But
Mm.
luckily, I can with Ishak. So
Yeah,
be
maybe
great.
maybe maybe he'll bring his girlfriend.
Whenever it gets funny, we'll see.
Sorry, Shaq.
But it's gonna be fun. Like, and I think it's gonna
Mm.
be as long as we get fast internet, we're gonna have a great
Yeah.
time.
Solid time this whole time. I was gonna ask, do you think the games that we've been playing, like Tarkov, is
Mm.
partly
I think
um
it was like what part of the stress you mean?
yeah.
It could be because what I'm thinking of is I was having stress at home, like,
Mm.
and then there was a bunch of other things that was happening, like with the move out and stuff. And you don't like I wasn't letting myself feel like emotion. Basically, I wasn't letting it out. I wasn't telling anyone. I wasn't talking to anyone.
Yeah.
And then like in my downtime when I was playing games with you, I was playing a really fucking high stressful situation game,
Yep.
which it sounds really bad. Like if anyone's not a gamer and they're like, and they're listening to this and they go, oh, what? He's getting stressed out for games. Trust me, man. Like when you're playing like some high realistic games like we were, it's 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 like a whole nother level. That this game's on a whole nother level,
It's a different
it
stress.
yeah, it's like it's you're like a shot in put in a soldier's perspective before anyone
Yeah.
thinks it's not COD. Like it's like an actual realism game where you gotta like, you know, if you're bleeding, you
Communicate.
gotta put bandages on. If you're
Yeah.
broken bone, you gotta put like a splint on. Like
Splint.
that sort of stuff. Like
Mhm.
it's not like one of those things where you go, haha, shoot gun. Like that's it.
Yeah.
You know, and
It
it's so
it's very
stressful.
yeah, and it's very like sound heavy. So like you could literally get shot from somewhere, right? Because there's no HUD or anything or HUD.
Yeah,
Like you don't know, so you start. So you, I think for me,
you just
my
panic.
adrenaline. Yeah, exactly. I start pressing buttons and shit, and
Yeah.
I'm like until like I find that person, I'm on high alert.
Yeah, and
I'm on like
there's no
stress
like
mood.
respawning. Like if you die, you die. Like you lose all your stuff.
Exactly.
Like it's gone.
Yeah.
So it's just like that, and maybe like what it is. I don't blame the game. I don't think it's that at all. I think I
Mm.
had all the other stress going on in my life, and then in my
Yeah.
downtime, I was playing something that was also stressful, and I had
Mm.
been doing that for about well, I guess like 4 or 5 years, because I was even playing Rainbow with Jordan. Every time I
Oh,
was coming back from work, I would be
yeah.
playing a stressful game with him for 4 hours or something like that.
Jesus, man.
So I've been doing it for quite a while, and I think when I
Mm,
took the week off, and maybe now it's caught up, and I've stopped having the palpitations, and
yeah.
maybe that, or and the house is starting to get like nearly finished as well, so that's good. Like, so maybe there's a lot of stress that's also coming off of me, you know. But
Mm-hmm.
I think like people, because we got like we're in a pandemic as well, so I'm literally just locked in these four walls. I've been going on
Yeah,
like
so
daily walks now, which is
mm,
good. Like it's getting me out there and stuff like that.
see,
Like,
see, see.
and something like that. I don't know, taking the mind off of it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
For,
I
for,
think it's that.
for me, like that game, dude. Like whenever I come out in the raid, I even show this to my fiance. I am shaking.
Jesus.
Like I am like full on like I've never had like any game like this before. Honestly, not even a scary game,
Yeah.
but this one it gets me pumping to the point where like even if I play League, like a
Yeah.
casual league, I'm on high alert. I'm on stress mode. Like it's just I'm still pumping for like 4 hours
Just
after
playing
playing that
like
game.
Candy Crush, and you're like, ah.
For me is that that's right now. But I don't know
But I
if
love
it's
it.
good for me. Yeah, exactly.
It's a really fun game. Like, and right now I'm not doing anything else because of lockdown and stuff.
Mm,
So why not? You know?
exactly.
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe,
We'll see.
maybe we should branch out on other games.
Maybe if I start getting palpitations in another 2 weeks time, then we'll know why. We were playing it for about 6 months and I didn't get any. So I don't know. I don't think
Yeah.
I don't attribute it just to this game. I think
Maybe it's just like life stress, I
it's a
guess.
culmination of everything at the same time.
Mm.
But yeah, like we're just about out of time actually. But
Oh,
we're
yeah, nice.
gonna we're gonna be back as well on Wednesday, I think, with a Falcon and the Winter Soldier like spoiler episode, because I think we're gonna try and start up the Marvel thing now.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes.
we're gonna start discussing that first episode, and
Mm.
yeah, see how it goes from there. But maybe hopefully a new logo by then, like for that
Maybe.
specific series. But we'll see. In Rod.
Yeah.
But
You work good.
but yeah, please comment, subscribe,
Yep.
and we're on obviously YouTube and Spotify. So thanks for listening, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.